Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Today I'm going to be talking about if I had to start my bag collection again and I could only buy 5 handbags, which ones would I choose personally? I think, maybe a lot of you guys who watch my channel, or even if you've never bought a designer bag before, you're probably wondering, what is the best bags to buy, in general, what are kind of staples that, I guess, if you're a fan of designer bags, what should you probably get in your collection? And I think especially today, I think it's really important to consider what, say, 5 bags you would like in your life, because the prices of handbags, designer handbags these days, have really escalated. I'm going to say even in the last 2 years. I found with Chanel especially, they've gone up thousands of dollars. So I think it's important to really consider what bags you might be saving up for, and also if you really do want those bags in your life, how to buy them and when to buy them, and also just not to be distracted by other handbags as well, because as I said, designer handbags are so expensive, and so it's really important to stay focused as well. So I think when I started to get into designer bags, I definitely I just started out getting a few second-hand bags, trying them out and realizing I really like designer bags. And then later I really wanted to get a Chanel bag, and a lot of people will say to start off with I'd say the medium classic flap, and I think that is actually a pretty smart choice, because it's a very classic bag, and it does, well, the retail price goes up in value every year. It is pretty common though, especially the black one. It's not as if you can't find them secondhand or anything. So anyway, for me, my first ever kind of super want Chanel bag was either a mini or a backpack, because I think, me being a bit younger, it kind of looked a little bit more modern. And I know with a mini I could wear it crossbody, and the mini Chanel is just really cute, and I really wanted a backpack as well. Now, I super wanted to get this vintage Chanel Duma backpack. However, I saw on the resale market they were selling from maybe $3,000 to $4,000 in good condition, and that, at the time, this was a few years ago, was actually the same price as me going into Chanel and buying a new bag. So I thought, I don't really want to buy a vintage bag, spend that much money. And so I decided to get the Gabrielle backpack. This was the first Chanel bag I purchased in store. And so that brings me to the first bag I would recommend you buy first. I think a more edgy Chanel bag is a great first choice, because a lot of people buy the classic flap first and realize it's really not their style. The classic flap is quite mature and sometimes can look quite dressy as well, I think, from day to day. So I would say for a first Chanel bag, maybe go for something a little more modern and seasonal, which is something that most people would not suggest, but I'd go for something even a little bit more casual and edgy in look, because I found that this was a bag that was very easy to style for me. It was very practical as well, because you can actually fit quite a lot in here, and it has quite a soft structure. Whereas if I purchased the classic flap first, and because I actually purchased this and then went on a holiday, and this was quite useful for me, just walking around the city and stuff. I think the classic flap, it doesn't really fit a lot, especially the medium or the small size. And it's not the most comfortable bag to wear, I would say, compared to, I would even suggest maybe the 19 bag as a first bag. That's also very casual and more modern day style. Or yeah, a Chanel backpack. I think those, like something a little bit more edgy, maybe even the Gabrielle hobo bag. I think those bags are a little bit more modern, and it would just give you a taste of Chanel. And I think, yeah, then if you kind of realize that you like Chanel and everything, maybe then get a classic flap. But I just think for me, being younger as well and starting out with Chanel, I think I looked a bit too mature wearing a black medium classic flap. And I did purchase one later secondhand, and I found that it just felt a bit mature for me. I don't know. Now I think if I had a black classic flap in medium, I would probably love it and wear it. But back then, it was just a bit, it's a bit boring as well, to be honest. So yeah, I think for a first Chanel bag, it's nice to get something that you really like something edgy or seasonal, because I think you'll just wear it more than, you know, a classic flap is quite common and it's just kind of the bag that everyone tells you to get. But to be honest, I know a lot of people that would just never wear that bag. So yeah, I would get like a Chanel bag that you will think you'll wear a lot. And then the second bag I would suggest is like a mini crossbody bag. Now I think the ultimate mini crossbody bag is definitely a Chanel mini. And yeah, this was the second bag that I purchased in store. And I think a colour like black, you really can't go wrong. Because being crossbody, you might need to worry about colour transfer with jeans and that sort of thing. So I would probably suggest, when in doubt, just go black. A lot of people say, you know, get what you like, what colour you like. And I definitely have a lot of coloured bags myself. But I think if you're starting out black, you'll just reach for it a lot more, and you'll find the wear on the bag is going to be less obvious, it being black. And I would also say, honestly, if it's one of your first Chanel bags, to go for caviar, because the wear and tear on lambskin, unless it's vintage, I know some vintage lambskin can be quite robust, but I would just say, you know, for your peace of mind, to get caviar, because these bags are not cheap, and it is really heartbreaking when, I guess, your bag gets a bit, you know, a giant scratch on it or something. So yeah, I'd say for me, a mini designer bag is something that you can kind of style quite easy. But I think Chanel is the ultimate mini designer bag myself. The third bag I would go for is a smaller sized bag for going out. Now, I feel like this could be like a wallet on a chain, but I feel like wallet on chains, for me, I don't really particularly like the card compartments and the layouts. Because I don't really use them. So I would go for more of something like the Pochette accessoire from Louis Vuitton, because I like how you can wear this on your shoulder, and you can also wear this crossbody. And also the canvas is quite durable, like, you know, if you're going out or something like that, you might be dancing and whatever, so this is a little bit more fuss free. Another bag that I would, and also sometimes you don't want to wear Chanel and stuff when you're out, because it's just a whole nother price point, and you can get these, you know, second hand, even vintage, for pretty reasonable prices. So something like a vintage, I'd say like a small Louis Vuitton bag or something with this canvas, I think is a good choice just for, like, you know, partying and stuff. Even like a Toy Lulu, not in shearling, this is very, I think, wintry. Maybe a Toy Lulu in leather or something, I think would also be a great just like party bag. Or even maybe a nylon Prada bag, like the I think it's the re-edition 2000, that little pochette bag. I think that would be like a great going out bag, because it's nylon and in black, it would be super easy to look after. So yeah, number 3, I'd say like some sort of bag you plan to party with, or, you know, it's a little bit more, you don't have to worry about it as much. Number 4, I'm just gonna say it. After you've bought these, I think, 3 bags, like your fun Chanel bag, which you love, you know, your mini designer bag, ideally Chanel, because it's cute, and your party bag, I'd say get the classic flap. For me, the double flap, the whole history behind this bag, you could even go for the 2.55, but I think it's nice to have just one classic flap in your collection, or one double flap in your collection. I think as you get older, it's something you'll probably gravitate towards more, even if you don't wear it as much when you're younger. Although I've kind of grown to really love the double flaps. And yeah, I would collect more, but they are very exuberant in price. So before buying something like this, I would really kind of go through a few other designer bags first. And I mean, you have to really, I think, love designer bags to go for a bag like this, because it is so expensive. And you don't necessarily need to buy these, I think, in store. You can definitely go for vintage versions. There is so many out there, guys. Like, there's a lot of fakes, but there is also millions of authentic bags to buy. So, I mean, think about it. There is, every day, millions of people buying designer bags, and some like them and some want to sell them. So yeah, I mean, I love the Chanel double flap, but yeah, that would be the fourth bag I would probably get after all those other bags. And well, I think it's kind of nice to have kind of like a bigger bag as well. So whether it's like a Neverfull or like a Speedy or something. I'm not a huge fan of designer tote bags, so I think the fifth bag I would go for is, for myself, I really like the Speedy as an everyday bag. I think it fits the essentials. You could go for a Speedy 25 or a Speedy 30, just depending on your preference. But you can get, you know, second-hand vintage Speedy bags for next to nothing, like a few $100s, you know, from Japan, and that could just be a throw-around bag. Even in store, I think these bags are not, like, they're expensive, but they're not crazy compared to, say, Chanel. And I think they are quite durable as well in terms of the canvas. Obviously, the vachetta develops like a patina over time, but, you know, these bags I feel like are quite casual, so it just kind of goes with the whole vibe of the bag. And I only suggest this bag because I feel like it's something that I gravitate to a lot. You could definitely, I guess, get like an Hermes Birkin or something. I feel like that's another like top handle bag that, especially if it's in like a softer leather, I can see how people would use that every day, but that's a whole nother price point, and I feel like that goes into a whole nother category. So, and I don't know, personally, I don't know if I would have the guts to use a Birkin every day, so I would definitely gravitate towards something in this price point for an everyday bag myself, and then have my special bags as more like my classic flap and my mini, just because, yeah, it depends on your style. I think I definitely love the aesthetic of Chanel, so that's why I need to have those bags in my top 5. You know, maybe if I, you know, eventually got a Birkin or Kelly, my opinion would change, but I think those bags are a whole nother level. So that being said, the Chanel classic flap is super up there right now, but you can definitely buy them, as I said, vintage, for still really, you know, significantly less, and they're not a bag that's super rare. So yeah, that's my top 5 picks, I think, for, you know, just if you only had to have like 5 bags, yeah, these would be what I would choose. I still like this bag I use so much, and that's just because I feel like it's a bag that no one really suggested to me, but it's just something that I knew I would like. So yeah, that's why I say the first bag, just buy something that you really like and that you gravitate towards, and I think then maybe, yeah, go for something more classic. But really, there's no wrong or right answer, but yeah, for myself, I found these particular bags to be quite good and useful, and if I had to really cut down my collection in the future, I think these sorts of bags are bags that I would just kind of be my essential bags. Anyway, what do you guys think? Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!